I've just bought one of the best value laser levels on the market. I'm going to show you setting it up and using it for the first time. It's the Huepar 902 CG self-leveling green laser level. I paid £168.58 for this on eBay. That's including VAT. Brand new. This is how it comes. It's got a nice padded carry case. And what you get for that price is the level. And you can see that you've got a 360-degree window there for horizontal and vertical. You've got a standard screw fitting there, and that's your battery compartment that takes 4 AA batteries. You just got one button there and a lock there which locks it to not self-leveling, so you can tilt it and put a line at a particular tilt. It also comes with this mounting bracket, which you can see you could hang on a couple of screws. You could put in a big screw fitting. I'm no expert on the different ways of using this, but I'm sure there are special tripods that would receive that. It could also go on the top of a tripod with a smaller screw fitting, and then it has its own screw fitting to go into the bottom of the level. Now that is also magnetic. So what we're going to do is use this hanging bar left over from an IKEA kitchen where the wall units didn't need a hanging bar, and we can just position that freely. It's got a really good strong magnet on that. So I've got the option of just positioning it down at plinth height or wherever. There's various other ways that you can mount this. You can hang it off a single fixing into the wall as well, and just angle it there. Get your button there. I've pressed it once and I've got both my beams. So you can see that you can get a crosshair there, and you could use it to set out around a whole room for a stud wall or that sort of thing. It's very visible. To me, it's much more visible than a red one. Now that's currently blinking every 3 to 5 seconds, and what that means is that the lock switch is on. So that's telling you that it's not self-leveling. So if I wanted to put it on a bracket or mount it some other way with a tilt, if I wanted to match it to an angle on the wall, then it will allow me to do that, but it's just constantly informing me that it's not self-leveling. So I can turn that lock switch off. It will stop flashing, and now it will self-level. So you'll see that wobble as it just settles there. If you press this again, it will cycle through. You've just got your horizontal level there. Again, it will be just the vertical, and then back to both of them. Now to turn it off, it has to have the lock in the on position. So you're locking, well, you're effectively locking off the self-leveling function, and then you hold this switch down just for 2 or 3 seconds. It also comes with a target. Oops, didn't mean to do that, but that's all. I think that's magnetic as well. So there's different ways you might want to use that. And it has that little bracket that you can either hang it from or stand it up like a picture frame. And I've got to be honest, I'm not entirely sure the correct use of that. Fairly new to these. Please tell me in the comments below. But I suppose it just means that you can choose a very precise location where you want your crosshairs to cross, and you can then line it up to that and know that it's all where you want it to be.
Strong.
So we've got our units roughly in position. We'd measured and cut out the carpet according to the footprint, sitting a little bit within the finished parts that will sit on top of the carpet. We'll be getting those units clamped together, screwed together as one, and then leveling them all. Now we've got some heights. Bearing in mind we need it to land at the right sort of height to the ceiling. So what I've taken is my drawing heights measured off the ceiling. So that's 1777 plus the 23mm for the countertop thickness is 1800mm. Measured that off the ceiling, made a little mark here, and what Brady's now doing is trying to just get that down to that level we've had to move it. We've had to move that magnetic. Sorry, that
Seems to be moving, that's all.
had to move that metallic bar to the corner of the room because where we needed to fit it was just right on the clamp point there. That should be moving down.
It seems to be moving down here, but it doesn't seem to be moving down at all unless I turn it.
No, it's got to be. Well, it's maybe not. You've probably got it locked off, so it's not self-leveling. So if you move that switch to at the front there,
Oh yeah.
yeah, mind your eyes. It's that self-level, and we'll see if it's. Yeah, the problem it's got, I think, is it's too much on an angle to self-level. So we've got to just get that up to vertical. Tuck that further into the corner at the bottom, and I think we'll be all right.
We've got some tape top corners.
Does it need it? Will it not just stay? Oh yes, it's the weight of it, of course. Right, okay. Yeah, so not quite as simple as we thought to just get this set up, but we'll figure out a way. Well, we found a solution. We're getting that thing held up near enough to vertical so it's able to self-level. And we've just been shifting it up and down until it lands where it should. Now, the problem you get is any movement on the floor picks up and makes the line fluctuate, which is why it is perhaps preferable if you can hang something like this off the wall. But with this newly decorated room, there's no obvious place. We could perhaps have a go at hanging it off there with the notches on this thing. So we'll just see if we can find another solution, but otherwise we'll make do and just not tread too heavily on the floor as we're leveling. All right, here's the way to do it. So those angles on the plasterwork have a metal angle, and the magnet is strong enough to support the weight of this thing on that. We've lost the self-leveling, haven't we? We've not moved that switch back, so it's an angle. Now the way we're going to do this method taught to me by Jamie Jackson Woodworks is rather than leveling it to the exact top line, we can place the line a little bit above, and then we can put a wood block with a mark on it, sort of above the line, and it's kind of easier to place your wood block above where you're leveling and then level it to that mark, rather than trying to position everything so the line's just going to glance that front edge. Yeah, that's probably about right. So that's now just under that windowsill there. That is a little bit above the mark, and we'll be able to do it with the method I just said. Setting it up is I've just placed the bottom of the block on the mark that I want the top of the unit to be at, and I've placed a mark on the block where I want the laser to land, because if it lands there I know it's level. So I can tell that this corner needs to be leveled just about 3 millimeters, and so on. So I can just place that block over a foot and get tweaking the foot up until the line crosses the mark. Well, that's all been leveled now, and we've been working off this mark here, and you can just see that if you just tweak one of those feet up or down, you can just get it very precise. Yes, if I'm just tweaking that a bit longer, it's gonna. I didn't do it the wrong way actually. So I'm pushing, I was pushing it up, and it's putting my mark above the line. Drop it down a little bit. I can get my mark to just exactly in the middle of the line, and then that's very precise. We find this a lot easier now than putting levels across and getting the bubble level.